So women, married women, okay, should have intercourse with their husbands even when they don't want to, because that is their wifely duty. They should have intercourse with their husbands even when they're not feeling well, even when they're tired, because that is their wifely duty, because their husband, he signed up for monogamy, not celibacy. And because husbands do things they don't really want to do, and because husbands do things when they're tired, a woman should have intercourse with her husband even when she doesn't want to do it. Now, this is prevalent reasoning, might I add. There are plenty of men on the World Wide Web who say that women should be having intercourse with their husbands for various reasons, but even when they don't want to, because that is that woman's way of taking care of her husband's needs, maintaining the overall relationship. And if they're religious, these men of God, of course, they believe that that is her godly, God-given duty and responsibility. So let's sit with that reasoning, okay? There are men who believe that it is possible. In fact, it is advisable. In fact, it is recommended. In fact, it is encouraged. In fact, these women are heralded up as a good wife when they have sex, when they don't want to. In fact, you can even use holy text to support your view that they should be having sex even when they don't want to. They should want to do it even when they don't want to. Now, let's work with that, because if that is the case when you are a married woman, why is it then difficult, or is it really, for men to acknowledge that women have sex or intercourse when they don't want to outside of marriage? See, they think it's possible, advisable, recommended, that there's a good enough reason for a married woman to have intercourse with her husband when she doesn't want to, when she's not prepared to do it bodily wise. She should do it because he does things he doesn't want to do. Yeah? But when you're a woman who's not in the context and container of marriage, no one believes you when you say that you had to do it, that you felt pressured to do it, that you didn't want to do it, but you did it anyway. Yeah, that you were coerced. No one believes you then. Apparently it's impossible when you're not a married woman. This is why I talk about marriage as a system of power, because that is power being wielded. You got to think critically. Okay, because if they believe and they agree and they support women having intercourse when they don't want to, when they're married, then they absolutely know that when you're not married, it's possible. But they just don't want to call it coercion. They don't want to call it pressure. That's very interesting.